pillars of strength to the department. The India's first drone forensic lab and research center is set up in Kerala with the state-of-the-art technologies. The inauguration of the Kerala Police Drone Forensic Lab and Research Center is a commendable venture to overcome the security challenges like espionage, smuggling, contraband goods, and anti-national activities. It's my honor, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you Shri Manoj Abraham Sir, who is currently the Additional Director General of Police, Thiruvananthapuram, Nodal Officer of the CyberDome, the Head of Cybersecurity Operations in Kerala State, India. He has worked as Superintendent of Police in Patanmathitta, Kollam, and Kannur districts, followed by a 7-year stint as Commissioner of Police of Cochin and Thiruvananthapuram cities. Also, a 5-year tenure as IGP Thiruvananthapuram Range. He has done extensive work in the area of community policing and also has co authored a book called Global Community Policing Problems and Prospects, which was published by Taylor and Francis Publications. In the area of cyber crimes, he is a chief architect of the Cocoon Conference, which is held annually on the theme of public private partnership for enhancing cybersecurity. He's also the architect of CyberDome, which is a center enabling private public participation in cyber policing, which has become a model center for cybersecurity in the PPP domain. Sir has won many national and international awards for contributing his expertise in the area of cyber crimes and cybersecurity, which includes the Interpol Honor, Be a Champion for Child Protection, for the comprehensive work done with regards to preventing online crimes against children. In the area of traffic management, he's also introduced various innovative projects. He heads the Kerala Sports and Kerala Police Welfare Division, the CSN Stadium, and has been attributed for bringing many innovative changes for refining the contemporary police strategies adopted in Kerala. Sir, with your kind permission, may we begin the session, which is much awaited.
Thank you very much. It's indeed an honor and pleasure to come and speak at the National Forensic Science University-led webinar, which we are having today. And as was mentioned in the initial part of the introduction itself, it's the National Forensic Science University, the NFSU, has grown to be one of the primary universities in this area of forensic science. And it's a privilege to come and speak to both police officers and the faculty of NFSU. It's really a pleasure. Now the topic given to me is basically something very interesting, something that is coming up, the area of drones, and I've been asked to discuss about the utility of drones for law enforcement. Of course, I'll be looking into all those aspects and what drones involve, the good aspects, the bad aspects, the challenges that drones put up, and what Kerala Police has been doing with this drone forensic lab and research center that has come up in recent times. So that is basically the task that is before me. As you all know, I'm sure that when I was looking at the internet also, I got to understand that you have been doing a lot of webinars on drones, the drone new policy, and what drones offer, etc. Now, drones, as you all know, is one technological element that has come up that has really changed the paradigm of a lot of commercial business activity that needs to be done using drones. But it has brought in a lot of greater challenges also, not only to the society, to the law enforcement, to the nation states also, because it's a threat to the basic integrity and security of the nation also. So we need to look at drones in that aspect. It's a lot of possibilities, prospects are there. So we need to really look at that. Now, looking at the commercial and industrial uses of drones, you're all aware now it can be used in its unmanned flying object. It can be used in various activities. It is already being used for a lot of agricultural studies, for putting up a lot of fertilizers, insecticides, etc. But you can use it for many other things like shipping or for delivery. Now the present your Mintra deliveries or all those online deliveries can change from the physical delivery to the drone delivery. A lot of mapping can be done. insurance claims, construction, infrastructure, you name it, all kinds of things are possible where the human element was doing it. Eye from the drone is all easy. The drones can, unmanned drone vehicle easily can go up to heights, distances, and can do the work for you. So there are a lot of commercial and industrial uses of drones in the present times also. And if you look at the future of transportation also, this drones are going to grow up. It's the future thing. In transportation sector, it's going to be one of the major things. Already we are using it for a lot of disaster management and other activities, but it can be used for medicine deliveries. It can be used for commercial deliveries also. All those urgent deliveries can reach our homes, can reach our rooftops. Future, of course, we will see air taxis. Already a lot of research is going into it where one person, two person can easily travel in air taxis. And this we are going to see in the next 2 to 3 years. It's going to be a big revolution that is going to come up in transportation area also. And then, of course, the drone flights also taking place to various continents, the various planets also, which we can look for in the future. Now, what the Indian government has recently done, thinking about the drone policy, there was a total shift in the policy itself from a totally restricted economy to a totally liberalized one. The intention behind this thing was to make India a drone hub, which can be done with all the creativity, with all the resources, with all the manpower, with all the capacity that we have. We can actually turn India into a drone hub, and that's what the objective of the government is also with the new drone policy. A lot of demand is there. A lot of the companies are there looking into drone research, etc. So this is the in thing which is going to come up in the future. Now, what I wanted to look at basically briefly in the presentation is to look at the good aspect. Of course, a lot of good aspects are there, but more importantly about the bad and the ugly, which has come with any technological revolution, anything good coming up in this world, whether it's a cyber world, digital world, or you take any activity, you have a bad side to it. You have the other side of the coin, which the bad elements come and exploit, which the criminal elements come and exploit. So you need to really look at those challenges also to really nip the problem in the bud. Now, I just want to go through a few attacks that drones have been used in the past. These are just indicative ones which will show you how lethal, how destructive these drones can be if you are taking it. Now, this was of 2019 in Yemen, where a drone was used to bomb a group of military officers in Yemen, where the drone came and exploded over that person. I have a small video also just for you. So this drone just came over his head and exploded over the Yemeni military leader. And you find that immediately the entire thing has been, he was killed also. There were around 6 people who were killed and 12 people were wounded in that attack. Just a drone, small drone with an explosive coming and blowing over your face. So that is the kind of attacks that have been done. Now, this is another one, assassination attempt on the Venezuelan president Maduro, where he was giving a speech on the live television, where again drones were utilized. Of course, the height of the drone when the explosion took place was a bit high. They miscalculated it. That's why, of course, no injuries were caused. But that's another attempt. Anything, it's just an unmanned thing. Anybody sitting 2, 3, 5 kilometers away using the camera, they can actually pinpoint that attack. So this is that explosive going off, but nobody was injured. Of course, immediately the troops, the security people came in and they removed the president from the scene. But that is how attacks can be done. That's the potential of the drone itself. Now, we know last year itself, 2 Indians were killed. One of the recent incidents were in Abu Dhabi, Houthi drones were used to attack the airport and an oil factory, where 15 people were killed, 2 Indians also, in the fires that were triggered by the suspected Houthi attack drones. So drones, without any manpower being used, it's a very safe way, it's a very cheap way. But because based on the payload, you can actually give it the devastation that you require. You can actually increase it. You can carry a weapon. You can carry a bomb. Any amount of these things can be done. A lot of possibilities are there with the drone attack. Now, this is another case in 2014 where in a football match where somebody came with a flag with a drone, and they came onto the football match, and they disrupted the football match also. And because the match was between Serbia and Albania, the flag was of one country, and immediately the fight broke off inside the stadium between the two teams and the crowd supporters also, and the whole match was abandoned. So the purpose of how a law and order problem also can be created just by a drone, a harmless drone just taking a flag. This is another typical example where in a meeting of an election campaign of the Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, where a small kind of drone came up. This, of course, was not harmful. It just came and stood near those VVIPs. And just to give a message that you are intruding into our privacy, drones are being utilized, and a lot of phone tapping, just to pass a political message. The small drone was utilized, which comes in. So absolutely, any flying machine can come into any VVIP just like that if you don't have the proper security systems in place. So that is the prospect of all these drones, because it doesn't come within the radar. A small explosive is enough. If you target it well, if you indicate it well, it can go and cause a great amount of devastation to the individual also. Now, the dangers of the drones with so many aircrafts also flying in the air. Now, future, we are going to see a lot of drones. It's going to be a swarm of drones in the sky, because drones will be flying for various other purposes. And these are a threat to our normal flying aircrafts also. So many cases we have such incidents of the drones flying into the path of the aircraft. That's why near the airports, these drones are banned. I'll show you a video of how close one of the drones claimed to hitting a plane also. Now, this is from the drone video, and you see the plane just passing below that. So just drone coming into the pathway of this aircraft can cause a lot of devastation to that particular plane also. So that is the potential of a drone that we see. We have in January 2018 also another major attack by a swarm of drones. Swarm of drones is a group of drones coming in at an airbase in Russia and Syria, where the Russian airbase was attacked by almost 13 drones in a pre-planned move from 50 kilometers away. They had a range of around 50 kilometers. Of course, there were systems available at the airbase, and so most of them were modified and shot down or jammed. It was not very successful, but around 13 drones were together used. So it becomes very difficult to identify and hit those drones also in that minimum possible time. But in this case, of course, they managed to shoot it down or jam most of the drones. And these are the few jammed drones which they recovered from the spot also. So that is the amount of devastation that these drones can do. And of course, in the recent war with Ukraine, Russia, drones are being utilized to great lethal effect. Pinpointed drones with missiles, etc., are being sent. Even if you bring them down also with your anti-aircraft gun, it's the cost and the manpower loss is zero. But very pinpointed attacks you can make using these drones and missiles attached to that, which is being widely utilized in the present Russian-Ukraine war also. Now, coming to India also, in recent times, we have attacks just around 6 months back on the Air Force station in Jammu by using drones, where drones were used for explosions in the bordering state from across the border. So that was one case where a few injuries happened and damages happened. Drones are being extensively used in the border to smuggle arms, drugs from Pakistan. These are few incidents where they were caught. Drugs is being widely utilized because the terrorists use these drugs for getting the money also, and for getting the youth into drug addiction. Of course, you have a lot of smuggled arms, AK-47s being transported, etc. That's another thing which we got in Punjab, where you see a drone being utilized to transfer all these guns and AK-47s and pistols with the weapons also across the border. So if you have a range of around 50 kilometers, you can easily transfer it. And you can actually transfer it to the correct person who's waiting there to collect it also. So we have a few seizures. These are only a few seizures. So many of these banned substances are being transported across the border also, and drones are being extensively being utilized for the same. It's a very cheap, very, very easy method to to smuggle these items inside the country. In the case of internal security also, we have many reports of drones being utilized even in the anti-Naxal drive, etc., where drones are used with the Naxalite elements to spy on the CRPF camps, to spy on the police camps that are available in the forest, just to know the movement, just to know how the formations are done, just to understand, do recce. So no spy has to be sent, no recce person has to be sent. The drone is enough. A flying object comes, takes all the photographs, takes all the movement of the troops. They understand the whole thing. And based on that, the Naxalites can really plan their operations also. So such reports are also extensively, the Naxalites are also using it in recent times to get their intelligence done with the police forces that are available against them. So all these, basically, I just wanted to show, highlighting the importance of the potential of drones, not only for the welfare of the citizens, for the good aspects of development and for making lives easier, but for antisocial activities also, for activities against the states, to attack nations, enemy states. All kinds of potentials are there, and it is increasing also. And with the future coming up, we are going to see a lot of drones, both for the good, bad, and ugly also. So that is what the future we are looking at, and that's how I mentioned that. Now the new drone rules have come in 2021, which is a vision with making India into a drone hub by 2030. Now, this is a good thing where they have liberalized the use of drones, because looking into the negative aspects of drone, you just can't stop the good aspects also. So you need to liberalize the movement of drones, but a control is required to ensure that the ill effects of drone also doesn't affect the integrity or the public order, which also is a crucial element in the present aspect. Now,
Ms. Nusrat, you are requested to please mute your mic. Sorry for the disturbance, sir.
okay, gracious. So just to highlight the new draft rules, I'm sure you are already aware of it. There were a lot of steps earlier to restrict these drones, because understanding the danger of drones, the policy was really restrictive. But in the new draft rules that have come up in 2001, all these restrictions have been removed. To apply for a drone, the number of forms were reduced from 25 to 6. You have the Digital Sky platform being a single window online system. You have declassified a lot of drones. A lot of drones don't require a license at all. The weight of the drones, of course, signify where you require license, etc. A lot of security clearance were taken off. So a lot of liberalization came with the new draft drone rules. Basically, the purpose was to ensure that the utility of the drones in the commercial sector is increased, and we become a drone sector also. Now, when the new liberalized drone rules came up, we need to understand that for the law enforcement agency, or for even a forensic science university like you, we need to really look at the negative aspects also. We need to really take steps, policy steps, to ensure that the drones are not used for the wrong things that is being utilized now for smuggling, for antisocial activities, for terrorism, for subversive activities against state. So we need to really build our policy. We really need to build our capabilities also. That is when Kerala police understood that we need to do something, because this is becoming this can be a problem. This can be a potential problem. And with the number of drones increasing in the sky, it's very essential that we do something to really look into this problem, to have some capabilities to look into the challenges that these drones face. So that is how we established the Kerala Drone Forensic Lab, as was mentioned in the introduction, also around the 15th of August 2021. It's not only a drone forensic lab, it's a research center also. It's the hub of where we do a lot of activities on drones, because nothing much was there earlier. We did not have any institution to really study and build the center. We actually put it with whatever challenges, with whatever resources we had, and our honorable CM came and inaugurated it, and we started off with that. Now, The drone forensic lab, it's basically primarily with a lot of objectives, looking into the policing aspects of, suppose we get a drone, what should we do with it? Suppose we have a drone coming and crash landing, what do we do with it? Then, of course, drones are coming up, and what is the various utilities of this drone? How we can utilize it for better policing, for serving the society better, for ensuring security among the citizens. So that was another aspect that we are looking at. And that is how we started. This is a shot of our drone forensic lab. Of course, we started off, we have plans to expand it to its own building, a bigger building, where we'll be doing the complete forensics and the research part of the drone. But this is just a shot of the drone forensic lab. Now, the difference, what we did here, like any other than any other police institution, is we made it in the PPP mode. Generally, we know any police institution or police organization, when we make it, it's a police organization, and a lot of secrecy is involved. So we do it as a totally a thing that is in-house. But when we understood that drones are something, a technological feature that has come in, where we require a lot of technological understanding, where we require a lot of collaboration, we actually built it in the PPP mode, where the members of the public are allowed to a great extent in a lot of activities in the drone, not our confidential things that we are doing, but still a lot of research things the public can really come in. So in the Drone Forensic Lab and Research Center, we have tie-ups with a lot of startups that are there, around 14 to 15, and we have a tie-up with the Drone Association of Kerala with around 500 odd members, who include both researchers, the people who fly the drone, various pilots, various companies who are into drone research, who are selling drones. Everybody has been brought together under one umbrella in this PPV sector. So it gives us a lot of advantages also, in the sense that we require something, we require some technical competence. We can actually lean back on these startups, on these technical hands that are already working in this field. If you require some expertise with drone flying, we can actually then take up the drone flyers. So all this, the capacity that is available with the private sector, we are actually mobilized it, and we are using it together with the police officers. So that has really helped us. That has really helped us in establishing this center very fast, in looking into various aspects which we didn't know, and in developing so many systems so fast. I'll tell you about few systems we developed at the lowest cost possible. If we had commercially gone and tried to buy it, we would have spent crores of rupees. But because we had these volunteers in hand who were coordinating with us, we could do it at a fraction of the cost of what it is commercially available. We know we have a lot of drones, of course, can be used. Various kinds of drones are there, as you see in the picture: single rotor, fixed rotor. For various purposes, these are used. So we have developed a lot of these drones. Many of them we have made with the resources that are available, with the people that are available with us. We have purchased a few drones also, and we are utilizing it for various activities. We are using customized drones for day-to-day policing, like drones with the police sirens, drones with police lights, and a megaphone also. So you can utilize it for patrolling both in the day and the night. In the night also, particularly with the lights, with the police lights on top and the megaphone, you can actually bark instructions to the public. So it is not just patrolling on the road. Generally, if two people are patrolling on the road, you can just patrol that road. But with the drone, you can actually patrol a larger area. You can have a look into the interior areas also. You can, in the night also, you can look at any subversive activity that is happening. Using the megaphone, you can give instructions to the public whether to go inside or do whatever that's possible. And there's a lot of impact also. When they see the lights, they know that the policeman is there. So it actually a larger area you can cover. So that's very useful for even the basic policing activity of day-to-day patrolling. So this can be utilized even in the day for traffic management, when the drone can actually go and look at traffic jams where the police can't reach, and they can give instructions over the megaphone. So a lot of utility is there, which we are using these customized drones for. We are using drones for disaster management also, with payloads also, various kinds of payloads, whether you want to take medicines, whether you want to take your life jackets or any other things, or ropes. In Kerala floods also, we utilized it to a great extent. Recently, one person was caught on the top of the mountain, and he couldn't come down. He had actually fallen to a gorge. So in that case also, drones were widely used to pass on food, to pass on any medical assistance or safety jackets or anything. You can actually transport drones for that. We have customized many drones for this disaster management. We are also using drones for anti-naxal activity also in the forest. Forest, we know, we tried helicopters with the distance, etc. With the forest cover, it's very difficult to have a good sight of what is happening on the ground. But drones which can fly lower are a very useful elements to know the movement, to clear the area when a police party is patrolling, to clear the area and to see everything is safe. You can then send the drone in advance. You can see the enemy movements also, where they are escaping, what they are doing, whether the area is clear. A larger area of the forest area can be manned using these drones also. So that's another area where drones are widely being used and very useful also. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, drones can be used for essential transportation. Any element you take it based on the weight, based on the payload that is there, you can actually utilize it for easy transportation, which is very useful for the law enforcement agencies also. Now, small drones for surveillance also, when you are on a VIP visit, whether you have some surveillance to be done, small drones are available. We have manufactured some small drones also, which can be used for the surveillance, for wrecking an area, for looking into the crowd management system also, how much crowd is there, whether they are violent or not, etc. These small and any kinds of drones can be utilized. So drones are another important area of policing surveillance also, and you can collect the intelligence through the cameras. You can take the pictures and use it for with AI. You can actually do a lot of predictive policing also with these surveillance mechanisms. We have been using these drones for the past 2 years. During the COVID lockdown, we used it very successfully to enforce the lockdown also. And the police drones with those lights fitted and with the police written, it is almost the similar effect of the policeman. Now, I'll just show you a video just for the sake of it, which was, this video has also become very popular on YouTube during those times, because we made it the impact of the drone is almost similar like the policeman being seen when you see the public just running away helter-skelter.
He drives to the covers. It's into the fence like a tracer bullet. This is the hashtag, like a tracer bullet challenge. You heard me say it over the microphone over the years. Let's see how my colleagues do it. And that's gone to the boundary like a tracer bullet. Good effort, Gavaskar. Not bad at all. Wow. Now, having got used to the DRSness, I give you the thumbs up. Gone like a...
So that is the utility. Basically, to enforce the lockdown itself, you use the drones to a great extent, and interior areas also. The drones can go and ensure that it has the same effect of a policeman running behind them. A drone can do a lot of things. So if you cover a lot of area, you can do a lot of things with the drones in the law enforcement arena itself. And drone can counter terrorism also. Of course, we are using it less, but in areas, bordering areas, this can be used to a great extent. We know the US government has been using drones to a great extent in counter-terrorism, even hitting precise targets in enemy countries also, where you can actually identify the people, and the drone can go to that particular point and pinpoint attacks can be made against people whom they want to eliminate. So drones have a lot of prospect in counter-terrorism when in those areas also. So in the future, I think this should be one of the major elements that is being utilized. Now, what we did in Kerala is not only setting up the drone forensic lab. As I told you, we have a PPP domain running. So we need to keep all those members of the public also together. So we started a drone KP, or a drone hackathon, where we involved all the members of the public. So this was very important, and one of the major reasons for our success also, when a lot of members of the public also came up together, and they helped us in making all kinds of drones. A lot of people were already working in various aspects of drone making, creation, making airplanes, making single flying objects, a lot of things were being done. So we use those resources. We actually mobilize these 500 odd companies and individuals together, and we conducted a two-day drone KP hackathon where they all came together and worked with us. And so it gives us a lot of resources that are available among the members of the public to really do a lot of tasks that should be there. These are a few shots of the hackathon that we conducted. So many members came, many companies came up. They gave us a lot of ideas on how we can do better policing with this, how drones can be customized for our purposes, what are the various kinds of drones available, how to make the drones which are specific to our problems, specific to various issues also. And a lot of individuals, a lot of youngsters are there. So you encourage them, they are also encouraged. They work with you for a longer time. They get new ideas, they come in and they help you out in this thing. So that is another major reason for the success that we had. These are some of the flying objects that they made during the hackathon, which we flew those times also. Very talented youngsters, which you can encourage and utilize also for the purpose of drones. So that is one aspect where we are making customized drones and using it for policing activity, various kinds of policing activity. But another major thing that we do is drone forensics, which is all the more relevant to you also. Now, this is another aspect which we had no idea at all. We actually got in with a lot of startups and we developed a lot of softwares. Of course, few companies that are established companies that are available, they have their own software where you can actually plug those drones to that software, then you will get a lot of details from that. But what we developed a software where any drone can be plugged into the software and we'll get the details of the flight path, the battery capacity, or whatever features that you require from a drone, where it's flying from, what is its capacity, how is it made, which company or which ID. So all these kinds of things where you can actually read from that. If you capture a drone or even a part of the drone, the important part of the drone, actually you can do a lot of forensics on that. This is actually being in the developing stage only. We have actually completed our software. This of course requires more customization and it's a daily affair. It has to be with new drones coming up, not even made in India drones coming up. This needs a constant updation also. And this activity is happening now. We are quite capable of identifying most of the established drones that are available in the country or the world now. Another major aspect that we do presently, we are almost in the stage of completion of the whole thing, is to build a anti-drone system. That is a mobile anti-drone system fitted onto a vehicle. I told you about the earlier problems with the drones, the challenges that the drones offers, the problems for VIP security, even attacks against police organization. So we thought we need to really put up a system, a anti-drone system. When we looked at the market, we found that everything costed huge money, 8 to 10 crores for just a system. So we thought we would build it ourselves. So using a lot of startups that were available, we have actually built this up. It is almost in the stage of completion. I think within a month, we will be able to complete a anti-drone system in a vehicle with almost a fraction of the cost, just under 1 crore. We are able to develop it. It has a radar which actually can detect the round system that you see is a radar which can actually identify all the drones within a 5-kilometer radius. And a camera is there. The moment it identifies, the camera will actually try to identify the make of the drone. And based on that, if you think it's an enemy drone, you can actually use the jammer to actually bring it down. So this is how we have actually, the softwares, everything has been made for the anti-drone system. And it is almost operational. It's in the testing stage. And within a month, maybe we'll release the system also. In the future, we want to add on the drone net catcher also. You can use another major system that is available in the world is the net catcher system, where you send a drone with a bigger net and catch the enemy drone in a net. Otherwise, you have a gun also which can shoot the net. If the drone is coming quite closer, you can use the gun to shoot the net and bring the enemy drone down. There are systems like laser also, where you hit the laser and bring the enemy drone Down in the future, we are looking at these three aspects also, which we'll add on to our anti-drone system in the future days to come. So these are the technology that is available. But still, the biggest challenge remains as to how to identify this enemy drone. That is another challenge that is still world around they're working on, which we are also looking into. Another aspect that we concentrate on in our drone forensic lab and research center is drone pilot training. Pilot training, and not only for police officers, we do it for members of the public also. We do it for students also, just to encourage them into this area. But primarily, it's meant for the police officers. Pilot training is there. We use a lot of simulators that are available, very specialized simulators we have developed, where anybody using those simulators can get a very good idea of how the drones can be safely flown, because you can't tease them flying drones, because they may damage the drone. So you have a lot of simulators available where these police officers can come and do it. We actually teach our student police cadets also how to fly drones, so that they can get the interest into this drone flying. They can actually get into drone research also, so that this aspect is popular among the members of the public also. So we have actually developed a few drone flying simulator softwares also. We have purchased a few, and this is widely being utilized in our drone simulation lab also. Another aspect we do is drone repairs. This is another area that was lacking. We brought a few drones. We purchased a few drones a few years earlier, but as you know, drones can get into accidents anytime, and a small mistake, you will have drones lying on the ground. Then repairing these drones is very difficult. It's very expensive also. If you call the company, they're coming, they're repairing it. It's an expensive affair. It's a time-consuming affair. So we actually put up a repair center at our drone forensic lab, where most of the drones with all these things can be repaired. There are people available. There are startups working with us who know the technology, how to repair it. Many of the parts, we make it there. We actually or locally purchase it there and customize it and repair the drones. Most of the drones are repaired by us. We even have a 3D printing machine where many of the parts can be customized based on that printing machine and can be taken also. So specialized small parts also, we can use the 3D printing machine, and we can manufacture it there and repair these drones that we utilize. In new drones also, if we require something that we need to customize, we can actually use this machine and do the 3D printing and utilize it to customize our drones also. We are actually linking up the drone center to our robotics lab also. We have a robotics lab where the image that you see is the KP bot, which is the first humanoid robot that we brought about, which now mans our reception center. It is a robot with artificial intelligence available, which does a lot of public relations tasks also. We are trying to link the robotic center with the drone forensic lab, so that these together can go hand in hand, and we can use these drones and robots together for various traffic management activities, for crowd control in the future. So that kind of research is also going on within the CyberDome. Another very special aspect that we do is we are tied up with a lot of colleges, universities, startups, as I mentioned earlier. Generally, the police forces, we remain averse. We don't understand that the research is very important for the police forces to handle all those challenges of the future. So this colleges where the young minds are, where people are actually studying, looking into these aspects. The young mind is where the most important part of innovation comes up. So we tie up with a lot of universities in Kerala, in abroad also, where we have a lot of agreements where the colleges do our projects also, not only in drones, in various other aspects of cybersecurity, in various aspects of robot